California held hostage, day 2. That's the focus of tonight's angle. All right, it's been 44 hours and 29 seconds since the polls closed in California, and the state will still not give us the complete results or declare winners in neither of the marquee contests, the governor's race and the LA mayoral race. But someone's celebrating. As most homeowners in the Palisades still haven't even begun to rebuild, the incumbent liberal is making stupid TikTok videos. Mayor Bass is in a good mood because she knows the voting system in LA County's got her back. The longer this count goes on, the worse Republicans usually do in the final vote tally. I wonder why. Now, let's check in with the California Secretary of State, Ms. Shirley N. Weber, Ph.D.
Voting may be over, but the job of counting your ballots continue throughout the days and weeks ahead. In California, we offer voters many ways to vote, and it takes time to ensure that every ballot is counted, every ballot is accounted for, and that every voter only voted once. Our office updates election results daily on our website, but our office does not declare a winner until results are certified.
Did you hear this? We're supposed to be happy because ballots will be counted not for hours, not for days, for weeks. Yeah, and their argument is that the laws were written this way, whereby votes can arrive 7 days after Election Day and then counted for 13 days after Election Day, only because they're being extra meticulous. Please. To most fair observers, the opposite is true. And this is the problem with mass mail-in ballots. They erode public faith in the electoral process because there's too much time and too much uncertainty between the closing of the polls and when the state actually announces the winners. And if late on election night, a Republican is leading by a decent but not a huge margin, a certain media narrative will inevitably begin circulating. We'll hear about how tranches of votes are arriving and then speculation that this could be enough to help the Democrat who trailed on election night bridge the gap. It's kind of an exciting come-from-behind story.
We're going to be getting more ballots tomorrow, a big chunk. I think the biggest will probably be on Friday. I think a lot of counties were even holding off entirely to just do one big drop of ballots on Friday. And it might be Friday that we really get clarity in this race. It's possible that Friday we'll really know whether there's enough runway for Steyer to make this up.
Runway. He says this all with a straight face. Why is it a given, by the way, that ballots arriving after Election Day, if mail-in ballots are so cool and great and everyone uses them, why is it mostly Democrats? And disproportionately now, Steyer's voters. If he runs for president, Governor Newsom will have to defend this purposely convoluted system before a nationwide audience. Can't wait to see that. As of now, he's claiming that there's a lot of misinformation floating around about California's election, including from the president, President Trump. And yes, for the record, we wish the votes were counted faster, too, he wrote. Well, they're not counted promptly or faster because your party never wanted them to be counted promptly. For the past 21 hours, the AP has reported that only 56% of the vote has been counted. Oh, sorry, wait, it's actually up to 58% now? Oh, 2% more? Now, what's the reason for that? Why are they not telling us the vote counts, especially in individual counties? So don't you get the feeling that they want to make this so confusing to most people that they just end up giving up trying to figure it all out? Until one day, you'll log on to your favorite news site, foxnews.com, and you'll read that Nithya Raman, has come from behind to edge out Spencer Pratt. The longer the vote count, the more public confidence erodes. The more mass mail-in ballots, the greater the opportunity for fraud. So we keep hearing stories about how people receive mail-in ballots, and they receive them for years, even after they've moved out of California, which happened to the Ruthless podcast executive producer Lee Wolf, for 10 years worth of elections, by the way. And regarding the requirement that mailed ballots postmarks must be stamped on Election Day, well, there could be some funny business there as well.
Last elections we had here, I had a whistleblower that contacted me from a post office describing that they had different buckets they were supposed to put the ballots in after they come in after Election Day, and they were explicitly told it doesn't just have to be a postmark that was on or before Election Day that qualified. If the date was handwritten, that would be okay as well.
Oh, did you? So you could just take an envelope, write election day. Don't even write the day. Just write election day. It counts. So until we have a full and complete investigation into California's mail-in ballot counting, their vote processing, their chain of custody, all those buckets, we the people will have serious doubts about whether the will of the voters in California is being respected. The lack of transparency, it's obvious. Last year, the state refused to turn over basic information about its election officials, just their names and titles, and voter rolls. And a district court judge, Clinton appointee David O. Carter, agreed with them in California, ruling that the executive branch cannot usurp the state's authority over elections. Okay, we'll see what the Court of Appeals says in the Ninth Circuit. But again, this is why we need real congressional oversight here under the Guarantee Clause of the Constitution, which again, last night states that the U.S. shall guarantee that each state has a Republican form of government, small r. Well, when we don't have these votes certified until after July 4th, how exactly is this a small r Republican form of government? Explain that to me. In the 2024 primary, only about half of the results were reported by 5 a.m. Eastern Time the day after the election. It took 10 days then before 95% of the votes were actually reported. So those delays may serve the Democrats really well, but how does it serve the people of California who've been suffering under their leadership? So I'm telling you tonight, pay attention. Don't be complacent. Because if they could get away with it, Democrats would hold all of America hostage for days after a presidential election, heck, weeks after a presidential election, and implement California's mass mail-in ballot scheme nationwide. And of course, they're always going to claim that any lengthy delay is designed to prevent what it actually encourages, fraud, which, as we know, is already a growth industry across California. And that's the angle.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.